Okay. Abai no den hyehyɛ bi abetudwa wonam Ghana Revenue Authority so ede tudwa se benchmarks ne ade a womo ede ma womo 50% discount so kofa ne ma ba ne yaye no saa no effective today omo hyehyɛ mu ne se omo pese omo yi free honom ne ade Gutafo they are up in arms omo say ebeye suicidal me ma ne ma boy thing Association of Ghana Industries so yate say mo so mo fi say ebeboa ama industries a thrive our Ghana high sense say those imports na ye tugu abebre no esobete mujina bia wa asemi hu ne say
yo me da say na me chewa tie for so na say me o kan no Association of Ghana Industries there the position is very clear na o kan ya aban this say buy no ye kan ho asem say enye say abeboa enuma emputuduma ewo Ghana emputuduma no na ye kan so kan say aban so no ono any objective of promoting industrialization in Ghana no is a counter to that objective because you have a scenario important every country be a tariff regime. Now West Africa you have general tariff regime where you consider with West African country.
Okay.
Ghana a cotton here the so send a imports be cheaper. The batter na say imports near cheaper. Come market na kota nema. That's a cheap chain via. Naturally no do be attorney so better the cheap kakana. If you know the obi nka say you made in Ghana ntia no akoto the anybody yedi. Ntia ba nya kan wa sam sanya de beboa mpidijuma no.
Okay.
Na ye share no ye place my course 2 years ni. The 2 years no monitor what has happened. Industries now subject to this competition. No. Most of them are struggling. Intinama the amuche de biaba. Industries no so na employ nipa more. Intini e ho a esa abanye hu bibi. Intino aban esisa na de aba na ya de ye kwaso pa intini se beboa.
Okay. Utie Ghana Association, Ghana Union Traders Association. One more asem say as at now, these industries cannot meet demands on the market. And until say abane kofa saadie we ba omo ko kra ne ma ba no enema bo be ye diamate mamufu so entimi nto a e de ahokyere beba. How do you respond to that?
Minia Oman bia a developer and that's a tumpon. Nema Makumako bisu nejina so. Bakupa ye manufacturing. They say there be a smaya can say, the encourage free school about Munejumane. Look at our tertiary institutions. We are turning out about 300,000 people every year. Almost tertiary institutions in Kwamba. Oba Juma Ben Omubaye. It's a cafe, and the man bed in Kakra, it's the end to it. Let's see, Lucy jobs in Nina. Yenina be traders. A kwamben ye befaso. Amaya ma nipa na dwuma na ye. Eti nema na ye cheap crop na so nya dwuma bede no ato. Obi a onya dwuma no, enema na ye cheap crop a. What is be do 1 cedi ko ontimi nto. Bi do onya dwuma no onya sika 1 cedi no. Na so no, se ne boy de kakra bi crop a. Na se o wa dwuma, obetimi ato. Enti dwuma ehun ba no ehun ya pa.
Okay.
The to so bi no. And also interest enema no necessarily will be cheap, will be expensive. They say so if you give a good market share to local manufacturers, local competitors will grab the price down. And the almost crabano. Almost by saying, yes, you're going to the Jumani, so you're going to the Jumana. Almost will be large volumes of the goods on the market, and the price will come down. It is not necessarily true, say, the higher duty. And that's a benchmark values.
Okay, Mr. Chuma Akwabwa Jina Somame, Charles Apia, Executive Secretary, Ashanti Business Owners Association. Charles, me watching.
Meet you so much.
Okay, so what year, Mr. Chuma said Chum Akwabwa, our case benchmark values. No many ajisa bana yi sanse na ama industries manufacturing or Ghana are very expensive. They couldn't compete with Niama Moko Faban until Ofi say is the right thing. Most of us say Abano yi free swa. And the Oyende Kessben Bremo Natime Mufo so betre mo dentra.
Okay, me that see Ewa Kunya me share with you for me share on my Ghana.
But obeti mama TV now akofa mama me. Ka obeti me dum no. Said they be a met 2 ni. Why?
Okay. But are you okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. But over to say COVID by business be affect you.
No correct.
Now business affect you now. At this time the government SRD SEBI is on shiving me crew. Business are already suffering. It take a benchmark, my business, a little relief. Benchmark value of 50% discount, was giving business a relief. Because you say, oh, importing a cry, it's very expensive. Propaganda so taxes since no dorsum. So our only lifeline was about the tax exemption. That's the
benchmark values,
50% reduction. That's it. So we have not moved out from the roof of the effect of COVID-19. The government, or review benchmark value downwards. Of course, it means that government wants to see business collapsing. If government wants to raise taxes, there are so many avenues government could look at. When you say there are a lot of foreign companies that are taking undue advantage of the tax exemption policies. When they come to Ghana, probably we give them about 5 years tax holidays. 5 years neighbors, they change the company to a different company as if they have sold it to another company, but they're the same people. And they enjoy another 5 years tax exemption. Meanwhile, the local business that is supposed to be the engine of growth of our economy, is deprived of all these holidays.
Charles, we patch our radio no so what do nana. I say
radio be so.
Sir. And baby I would move a little away from them, mommy. Why? One sema wo can okay, kasa.
Okay. Government can probably want to raise tax, which we support government in raising tax. Could look at so many avenues and improve the system. One, OSHA warehousing system. People are taking undue advantage of it. OSHA, goods in transit. People are taking advantage of it. And if government wants to improve on its tax mobilization, it should really look at what will have a total effect on businesses.
Okay, Mami Musawe. Abani benchmark na mo profit margin ne so bete anase enema bo na ebeye dia because utie Mr. Akwabo a o se obi a onya adwuma no enema na wote so ba 1 cedi kura ontumi nto industries is so na thrive a betima fa nipa adwuma nti ne bo so ko betima to
the government improve this on the system, warehousing system, goods in transit, tax exemption policies are. It will be another outlet for government to get in revenues.
Yes, sir. There
be if government succeed in taxing the businessman, business collapse here. Where will the government get money from? So government should be looking at more sustainable, more resonating tax policies. One, a supported business growth. Government mantra, Ghana beyond aid. It is not foreigners that are going to grow our economy. It is the local businesses. I understand Mr. Akobo saying, when we import, it competes with production in Ghana. One, goods are government, obey tax exemption, tax benchmark reduction from it, They are goods that are not in full supply in Ghana. Palm oil, we cannot, a local production cannot serve the whole country.
Meat demand.
There be rice, it can't. Oil, it can't. And these are daily consumable items. The businessman, tax now, he will pass the tax on to the consumer. So we will have these artificial inflationary price going up now. And say, the disposable income of people have been affected because of COVID-19.
Okay.
So what are we up to? To save Ghana or to collapse the economy? It's the businessman that is the engine of growth. So government should be much more sensitive at this time.
All right.
What can I do to support businesses, not to deprive them, not to rip them off?
Somebody,
we understand the GI position.
Somebody, Mr. Akwabo, who tell you okay?
I know my phone, I'm in traffic. One or two.
Okay, quick one, Mamin too.
The American say, and some be a million American, Papa. If it's a Amazon to the bullshit products in the year, people say, oil, see, okay. Yet one of our companies, capacity, it can supply the whole country. And if you put all of them together, it's not true saying local capacity supply. Now, the attorney said, the more I would take in market from them, the more you weaken the industry. So even for now, you want to mean supply certain items going fuller. Demand and supply will catch up because the British rice for a very long time. We are complaining so you produce enough rice. Within a few years, our government everything and year, there are so many rice mills are gradually near you do 60%. Up. What the benchmark in the balloon one of the rice companies since February who produce. So what is going to happen is eventually gain kakananon who destroy Nina. But rather when you create the demand, a back catching up eventually. Or no, okay, say me sure say what who said who produce rice or ha. So the importer of rice who produce ha. That's a more competitive. Also, better than a produce ha. That's how you do it. What mean can say you need enough supply, and and you imports cheaper. The more cheaper, kill local industries completely. The better can only industries be, and the better than employ Nipano. And the Okano, and say, and a bank so a bank say, policy will withdrawn completely. That's not what the government said. But selected products that you will local capacity to produce. And to share name to say, if the nominee adena yin producible organ on Sisano, send a tenanity. And you will local producers, and on a band person of the local company. Now revenue also genetic background. If you are back area, and that's what can be Bonibia.
Now, baby, to say sugar. Say the 50% the free so baby to say rice, even though they are producing locally, can it meet the demand? It give us even about 2 years. Poultry products, no man say near I buy no a benchmark no so no. They work cosra. Unyini say Ghana for now so be the na afi eventually can even make the government unpopular, even though also so paying.
Mamimbusa, a dear Ghana for pay. Ye perceive Benjuma. Near my any Juma yet. None your money at me at all. And I say, ye perceive price, ever from no Jumani name collapse. Trade a beer out in your maban or the footer container bear 3 bar. A be our storekeeper back or person back a security back. You better Kessben or employ. Go and see any garment factory. I'm a bonus snake a crabby or employ by 100 people. You when I pay. The happens a big collapse local industries now. And I didn't say, and yet I bind a bit too so. That is why it's been all this year. It's just 2 years ago. And I buy Felice of a cargo near dinner and car a call neighboring countries, and Sana Bagana, Nina Bagana, into your cottage. And it's nothing new he's introducing. It's only reinstalling or reversing what was done, the damage that was done about 2 years ago. And the 2 years ago, how were they faring? The 2 years ago, they were surviving. It is a fair Abana who said, I don't know the buy and
yeah, but 2 years ago, they were surviving, but there was no COVID.
There was no
That's
what?
right.
COVID in Niho, and the COVID was. If 2 years, there was no benchmark values.
The circumstances are not the same. The economic indicators are not the same.
What is in Kenya affect your money?
I affect local industries in
I affect local industries now. And having to work in the situation with the COVID, and local industry situation require much more work. And in that case, even to cushion us, this is the time.
Okay.
COVID nearby and a COVID if one can affect your importers in Kwan.
Affect you, yeah. All right, Mr. Jaskusi, I'm in you also briefly. I'm in you.
Mr. Kobwa is making some good point, but the point is this. 2 years ago, the economic indicators are not the same. As you rightly put it, COVID-19 2 years ago wasn't there. When you say a lot of working capital have been affected because of COVID-19, and now when you say, oh, now a container product could have cost about $1,000, it costs almost about $9,000. Things are expensive now. So if you are looking at one, so supporting businesses, both importer and that of the local producer, it should be a gradual change. It should not be that drastic and dramatic right now. It's a business that collapse. Now we increase here, you also lay off an employees. What have you achieved? We have not achieved anything. If we want to support businesses, now let's look at how we can help local producers. How can we also support the importer? So it becomes a win-win, but not to rip off one side of the business. But majority of the economy is run by the importers. So if you don't take care in your policies, you end up collapsing majority of the.
Mami Musa, we say about you benchmark here on these items like sugar, oils, Christmas. What do you see?
Omanhene, as I put it earlier, businessman, any charge on him will be extended to the final consumer. Prices of items will go high. 2, people in disposable income has been affected. How do we run the economy? And 2, say, I have off-takers. My GGO Musika 10,000, because I've done all my calculations. And I've been report, also will be benchmark 50% in every year. Where do I get the money to clear the goods? Where? Do I go to the bank at that expensive interest rate? It's not the right time to do this.
Says your interest rate. Says your interest rate to say for business.
Interest rate, they will tell you policy rate is around 16%, but you go to the bank, it's beyond 25%.
Whoa.
You see, because there's a lot of challenges. The banks themselves are going through a lot of struggle, and the banks depends on businesses to survive. Increase things, let people working capital be affected. They cannot pay their loans. So that banking cleansing government came to do 2 years ago will come to naught. So government must be much more sensitive to the environment now. Whoever is advising government is not doing government any good. The person is trying to pitch government against businesses, and business will resist any policy that will put us into the bad limelight.
Charles Kusiapia Kubi, Bedase. Okay. This is a big issue because now the consumer who will go and buy the obe pie na bronye okotone mantade se maame no kofra kran kwadanta de ba 32 items no basically we my ya come here say consumables are ka say bronya niemai enti aban no so say is expected say enne e was say adwuma it is a take offer. The okofa niema onim say wa calculate say ne niema no otua ebia 20,000 as the odi container no okotua 40,000 because 50% na free so.
Okay.
It is okotua 40,000 na niema no oyi baako eton no 10 cedis a or the budget 15 and now 20. But nipa so niska okota de no. Enti niema no begu warehouse wo na afa bedroom ebi no. Ontimi nton a enkofa bi manti na ne working capital sote. Na aban no so hwa say all the one district one factory so ba. Ebi ma start produce. So wanyiri mu ama omo so anya hoden na nkrofo taste for foreign goods no so antina ya nto local ones no so a. Eji akwai to say the chicken
and
the egg issue. Importance if it's a buying per se go majuma by this. A buying also there be sorry I will say the private sector is the engine of growth. A buying also believe that industrialization is the way to go. How do you industrialize when you allow imports to flood your market? I was so about Nigeria for sure so mudia emo. Almost 6 months ban at 2 importation of rice so and Grofo come suya after 6 months go to Nigeria and find out local rice and a juma but I buy another way I want to know now what do you to say I say what from and I say I buy to say all of a sudden be almost all my dinko marche April ton but now I will say if you say by ebe kopro Christmassy people will be importing a lot. About if he said this Christmas, so Ubetima Kasi in and enough revenue from the port. And almost if he says, I would decide my Christmas, I also in Chobo Kakrebetia. Usubaguya Juma. Yan day.
I have a panic now.
Tasino Bazanza for opening for
Gas and Penny, Reverend Dawson Amwa.
Okay, so Clanka can be.
Many never to cement. Na yen share. Reverend Dawson Amwa, opening me watching.
Thank you, Mr. The executives Secretary to Chamber of Cement Manufacturers.
Thank you.
The whole of Ghana, please.
The whole of Ghana. Executive Secretary to Chamber of Cement Manufacturers. Hey, and you use a crowd penny.
Wow.
You know about the assay. I buy benchmark a year the other. Say, my name say clinker. There's someone come.
Hey, you come up.
Yahuwah. Okay. Na clinker be come we. Na se see a cement so bo apejai. Ebi mo se eto e de da clinker no so ansa na obeyi awie no. Na eto e da so ekọ be duonu ene akire. Eti we ya abaya say ye free ho no. Cement ho asem ye be kan san wo man mu ha.
Ayyin ye kwa asori by emra. Adi ayyin na ayyin say COVID ya for fast about cement prices kwa na ekosu. Freight charges ekosu. In the amount we import raw materials in the bar and clinker takes about 75 to 80% of the raw materials that we need in the production of cement. And this ekosu pena samaba. Benchmark discount na eso yen fika kai. And it is as me say, hey, sa COVID consequences here be, which we don't have much control. Freight, yeah, any ship. Obi any ship, I know a ship never. Na and can intend now no. And can never be able to buy any benchmark value ya discount. Maybe a port operation, maybe reduce delay in discharge, into demurrage. Now fumigation levy, omojia, yen fumigati bibiano, we pay over $3 million a year. I resolve internal issues here. Benchmark value see. It's a big headache. It's a big headache.
Abanini mu di hun komo brebiana.
No way. And yet the kai alligator chamber. Now what we were telling them was competing we are products ever Ghana. Sabi biscuits Ghana. Yeah, soap ebi Ghana. He produces cement Ghana. Other products in beer he produces Ghana. And no benchmark value no should be reviewed. And they shouldn't be given any discount. Because if you give discount to competing products, ceramic tiles, Ghana, iron rods, Ghana, cement, Ghana, it makes importation of those already produced products cheaper in the EBA than to compete with the local production.
Okay.
And that's what we're agitating, that it is good to help local producers with a discount of benchmark on their raw materials so that they can increase employment and increase revenue to what you call it, to the economy. If you are going to say, raw materials in the LD battle, if it's a review with a full benchmarker, and more. In the for cement, I say with authorities, and more. Consumer never pay.
Now you say, we know, in your estimation, no, say, are there way taking full effect? Cement price, not just say, I'm going to be double.
It has to be a double. The point is, it's going to increase production costs.
Yes.
And if it increases consumption costs, someone should absorb that cost.
That is the final consumer.
The investor or the owner of the factory will not operate to lose.
No, correct.
I mean, business in Moka. So it's a worrisome, and it's a big concern. Yamichadia, Ochna Parliament inviting India. Prices because the first cement for the joint parliamentary committee after Ochna. And we take advantage to tell them.
Yes. Reverend Dawson Amwa.
Yes, please.
My info in 20 China say moko parliament bad you be free mabano you know better chonkomo. Yes. Executive Secretary Chamber of Cement Manufacturers and just omodi to just say benchmark no clinker no 80% of you producing in account no account. They are paying almost $3 million a year fumigation, yet nothing is being fumigated. Maakye, I'm going to tell you a quick comment now. About on chia, Yane Midimafo, Dr. Time, that's about to change. If you about the Akabi, that job. So,
I know Masha items, you know. As it today, noodles, and chancing. Toilet papers, facial tissue, towel, chocolate, Portland cement, clinker, mosquito coil, cars, ayedeba, ceramic tiles, aluminium products, curtains, textiles, fruit juices, the penny series in the other juices I no no. Now, on my baby, I'm a problem, Kakra. I'm a slab by any say. If you are, the air were no sumbo. Nti kase yema omon crab man say the 50% ne koka ho a emfa pressure bia mai. But my me hwe mu no items ni bi o ha. Your factories na ya wa ha person protecting no. Omo che dent mi produce no sa. Endi ye de koto so a sila na besa bedin yen consume.
Na Ghana ye wa sichi factory ha.
Na me
asutware no kra agu.
Asutware. Commander na finish.
Asutware agu.
It is the see no say wo ka say asichire bo onye de na. A day unim consumption of sugar in Ghana here. Now it's become #1 staple food in Ghana. Every day, ye dimo. Etuma mo boy dinner. O mama command nipa.
O be di mo no pa wi nwem fun no.
So mo common food. I want na me concern no. Omo san share items no omo de aba no. M say 32 no. Ebi omo de a, omo you know say ma benchmark ne da so so.
That is what the Mr. Dawson was saying. Say, there were certain products, cement, obi class cement aba, money bonye ding, because gas any other local production they can produce.
Yeah.
But you will never be on my CCA. Uko yini pampia. Time mufo na we day.
Umaye
hu actually. Ono no de ono peja otimi kraba. And as a near man crowd so bo hu ye ding. Now it's on high demand. Let's imagine say a moon. Now if omo kra mo ba no ni boa ye din ti na omo ntimi nkra dodo a. E mo susu ye di enti wo beto mo ba ko bag 5 kg no. One have a ton 100 Ghana. One to so a. Uni di aduane so de.
And I any production that he kese wa ha. Omo betimi a produce sa produce no bebre amai.
Nigeria for mo betting back be se pen kora.
I'm yeah, by the benchmark 50% na reverse no. Companies are all Ghana how mo ye ka VW ne Sino Track ni Toyota no yes e be encourage omo. But ohin so far me bank na ha yi ne ye nam komase ni ba bia yi.
Spare parts right.
Me said that who
Thomas spare parts boy na who said lorry fare bo be day.
Me said that who mo cars ni okurom sa say bia nka be so ya ye ahyase enti wo de koto so enti aban ni hwe wo yi na already no nkofo su ekom okurom. Na san kofa pressure ma.
Over to you Jolate. I want to watch ma ye ne medimafo twetwe nkomo. Na ye ba de aka bia so ye de atoa so bidiba fo heba why ye krado a so mame na ye nko ono ngo chia pa meet aduonu ngotwe mame ema ye honorable jo apia achi mana kwaba honorable na mpom to say
oh yeah papa
bibia boko
I don't want to come much
bo
fine
also I fine
you said them say
oh that's I get you very regular you will be you na ye Obi Bessie, a baby face. And who you everyone?
I'm big papa.
Yeah, you know that.
Besides, it's for the bar, you know, but you don't want you.
And I would you appear former member of Parliament, Ablekum. No. Okay. All right, well, quick one. I will go my DA. Papa, Kuma will come up and I'll buy. na ebi mu was adwene na moye mpanifo emu ntufo kakra na afi yenhwe nsem aka no
me che ahwefo a mo hwe Kessben kuma se ne akra ba bia se bidru a won say mo do akire pa ha yefe
that's
and I know so wo ha so de wo so adman why ache
that's right
the experience wo
that's right
me chia antibatil that money akosua friends akosua Brenda wo kuma se and that because no food ginara any tola ne bisa benyi omchi obia
okay
yo papa em say me ba na wo ka ho asem na ya rahosem because unu obia wo say de wo ka say obi ni obi nyem ya na so feel say wo so dae na wo so say obi afadere no kokuno it's total madness beyond the bounds of human imagination. Would you want to say how do you have to allow yourself for you see at times no almost say bring some kwaku brensa not nimba bi no kwaku brensa to fast come show yourself agokun we e wo wadwin bone na wo tum na wo de yes ade obi anyem office e ba ne say wo di o anya wo di o mane wo wie na wo de wo pass for faculty ne koyek DNA test and no de kra say we wo de pa ba wiase just leave the person. Now why do you have to take his life or her life? No do not to ngrum you bet also you waste our time you bet discuss that you be papa discuss here we are discussing about you. What they are saying to Papa today, what he has done there, God will never forgive him. He can never hide. You know, I know say jambe achino. Na Ghana for ye semo. Sebi yesi bodam no. Yes, we are bodam wo ho na we focus. You can live the normal life.
Okay.
Maybe you are boy you so be the boni cramp na. Just I do the mean. I mean, that's what do so. What they are saying? Who between yes, between yes. Why do you have to do it? Obi awe na we 9 months. Ye na enye se na mas na otu di adweboni se otu se enye eti ye sasu no mu a emra no na emra no se chedodo wa fe be court na ya fa lawyer na da court prison na ya mede di na osusu e ku sa bi member
former member of parliament I was semra
na nanti papa do ye me semra nti da be se se osu ye pa ne yem sa bi ye di quota he has to die to the hard way. How do you do such a thing? What's so be my life? 30 years, collect 30 years, so by the next president of this republic, and obey the first lady of this republic, and obey Minister Biwa Kunukwa. Say, who suspect said the yard life man, una. The old battle crap no nimsa to be crash over casa. That walk of finance, someone you be crampa on any one year.
I dream baby will be mean what Tim say, or bars or what. That be. That is a mindset.
That is it. You see, bad day you have to respect a woman. May be papa. Honestly, papa. Say me to come so that me go America. Me bus mwana. Me sorry my bad transit. I've a full side of why. Yeah, at least or your bad penny cry or your man go cry. That's what transit. No man respect. No more nyem 9 months. 9 months nyem ya de get well. As I would you want to be nyem bitia. Because we
only matter
because Obowia, don't baby now, baby 9 months.
And Tasutia
Jesus Christ, I did the way
and Najukra and Nakeke
at the at the
cost of dark crano and done in the Wobu crown and home tea. Who wrote dinner no
all by woman starting up say a push as a bar. Yes, see, because the sick on sana push no be repair.
Why is cesarean
no could baby? I just cry the 9 months now. Who carry the baby in your belly no and just some ketwa. It will give thanks to that's it. More but this is very upset. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. He has to be. You bet
I'm more apprehended. Honorable Yenin Komo. Nana Danko Kufuado Kasa.
Yeah.
Or see, Niema or the Guacom, the policies now, they've started bearing fruit. It's Ghana for Nyabotle. Now, at a point in time, Ghana for Buhun and Nepa. Or my penijo mama so qua pro, and our Kasa. Or see, now do a mortgage Ghana be as they see a crowd or Saudi Japa. Gold Kakra Canason or the Quakusia wa. Well, the beer, I'm alone, or the ways to be Sia wa. Was also there to just say Ghana 4 and Central 4. Yakin no to one number, I want another abem. Near Casapa. Yes, we are sika 100 million question baby. Yakin no to me enka. And ne ya Nanado buy Cotasha the pride in your mother bring a cost Central 4. Yakin no to. I fade the almighty petrol. You see a petrol. And ne I take you off 7% increment within 10 months 28 my yanti say MPP NDC for be press conference e wo petrol no entumu no mfi say aban ni trimorten on mini omane ho edi kan yem hwe nanado nsem odi atudwa ene omampani jo mama response me ade
yo
we are about petrol no
papa be da wase
ba hu say honorable bawa Brima enso so aba obe join us NDC
papa nsem bebre wo hwe oman ye wo mu yi Yibra Kufado, trans as president of the republic, na of mine, na enkoyi mayen. Emma ya bomodia stabilize the economy no. And yes, COVID-19 busueni we ya. Or sorry, while honey my viasi na the Great America crowd more crop of 9.2. But Ghana, Yibra Kufado, Yejuma, Emma Juma Pano, ama sentinel Ajibe Biara. We should free SHS. Above grant to be this for to be and so free SHS. She qualify school quite almost 1 million plus. The same qualify competent fear. Can be armed robbers and a doctor for once they say cry, reduce to cry. It we are police, it me ali body the other Ghanaian. Oh, big enjoy. So we end this new, we SPP new, we MPP new, we enjoy senior free HSS. A policy be a boy, papa. But you see, our NDC brothers say, and yet, because we want to be a yet they started, who's at the wafer. It's my brother, what we are saying, they say, the policies are there, it has created what a job. People have eyes to see. Yes, be a candidate diagro. You confude the course. Economy, you stabilize the economy. If you're in your COVID, but thanks be to Almighty God, say, Slano, you won't say, the normal a year, and for a job as a bonny beer magan, and I check my for your trouble can't normally be. Other go to Germany, other African countries, they have let some of their workers off. They have let them off because of COVID. They na one sorry that your car no yeah or policies of insults. It's not going to help you on count on presidents no Jesus Christ. If wishes for horses, workers will always ride. Let him go. I love it. I bow at yes, so I can't do it. I'm happy. They don't have the chrono because Papa planning for food and job. Share Muslim say commerce Ghana, a company Ghana. Hello.
Akwaba.
Boy, you're careful.
Manin Casanjo.
The Biavinisha.
What is Jamani Casanjo?
I got food and cockra.
Oh, Honorable Bawe.
Baba, I got to go.
Yes, Panya.
Baba, I got to go. The Biatica, I don't believe I saw you take a blue baby. You come to Casa. Manin Casanjo for food and job. I could Yamagana for Yamutu. Yan Cassie, Yedinara. Papa, you to me, you baby, Amagana. For you, that's all. What I say, oh sure, the Nakufado schools was see, sir, your friend saying, sir, friend saying, school, oh, Bawa,
Honorable Bawa, Mr. Allow, Mr. Why now, I'm more mutino, I'm more person, more chain, so
that is it. Mr. Time will come out before the end of this year, and early January, no, Obia no because I good and a yina, yes, a friend saying, be a beauty. Obia beko school and then kwalai na wo school mostly been tiase e dey be ko good ayi dey be ko ayi but when say why say yi the question is that ese kwalai na ko school obi na to in classroom it yes schools be pray can na we say come the information about the schools come be chiro to buttress what I'm talking about enti papa what this administration has done there it has bear fruit for everybody to see. Iraku fodo nyankopon na hira mai Ghana kenya ko for the bag Ghana na kendisi ba da ka covid ya kena ka maton Ghana kendisi aton Ghana because baby biara trouble edit for this kadie pa the way o ma handle man Ghana circle intelligence we ya look at the money that they spent about $177 million what be that as share intelligence ye friends Pokuase the whole 40 crap, $85 million. And you put tell you say, it's value for money. They don't know have value for money. Bibi a mbe dwane bo chobo do doso. Na mama Ghana sika kosuro abusura se yegis ka boto hono ene yetua enti busura mo kase de abobo se bebrida e musuni mo ban. Papa, what I'm saying is Ghana for naira for the wired.
Kwala be hwan yare we absenteeism just say ya na it's sad.
Kessben breaking news discover small girl be we BC last year. Okocho no nyam. School secondary school fan e science. Just last week Oko school na the nation echi.
Nya na mo show on TV no so.
Hi.
I was watching.
Akra no sunga no eja class no akom breastfeed akra.
No asabet na class.
Na me reach child care international for pa. Oma afa akra na yade a yenso som pere wasem so se akoda akoye sa ade. Na ba na sa wiedi a akra se chinchi obeso ye nurse ni na otena fie nso a ne mama ken se nya hwe on de onko suan mo so no. Accident na to no. But one na say that be obey nurse ni. Oh. Sabre no o my examination ankasa na ya na me pese de ba assess student. Say we
and no one thing duchum eye ho adwuma pa say ye wa kwala bi ho no ma or ye talented or ye skilled
ye ma me hwe onim ye
onim adechra say ye tro exams ni ade na mom unya botre time manual or develop you he becomes one of the best but one ye careful almost all the time now the exams na eso no hwe obu on ma examination fright nkwa
who say police ni ko ba o man yo me ko school boshan before say ba betro BC no na ye na wi afia kenten ye tipens for ye timi organize games ma ye nti bi a Friday ye ball football matches ne man to netball ni Monday na ya ka ye nyina ya bom same class we afia kenten city education company nya atena se ya set question e joint you teacher the omde banom the omana ya select na ya the amount ye tete ni atro exams na bom before say akọ final exams so international examination ye ko tena say yesi eti asa tron so na ya de foforo ma ye.
Hold your breath. And then the Father Diodon Kofi Davo, Director of Communication, Catholic Bishop Conference. Boakye omo at Sam Kakra by the head na me kasa wo ho abeye ye. But the full communique was issued this weekend. Father, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are we?
We are doing great. I want to believe you're also fine.
I am. I said the exhaustion from driving from work to Accra, but I'm fine.
We thank God for that. He's giving us a grace and grace abounds. Let me ask you, what is inside your final communique? Because a tip of it came around and it's created a lot of uproar, some with even the MPP and the NDC battling it. What actually, when you met, did you propose or you suggested or you brought out for government to take note of the people of Ghana as well?
Okay. Normally, when the bishops meet, they have a theme that they deliberate on that direct their discussions for every year that they meet. And this year is actually based on one of the recent letters that Pope Francis wrote, which calls for universal friendship, brotherliness. And so, and it is fratelli tutti anyway. And then you know that we are only trying to get out of the COVID-19 situation. So if we are talking about being a brother or sister to one another and what happened with the COVID-19, which the Pope made a reference to, it became the topic for discussion for the bishop. So in the light of this discussion, we brought it, we try to contextualize it in Ghana.
Okay.
So what are some of the things happening in Ghana that we think there is a need to pay attention to? So that is where they spoke about some of the difficulties after letting the people know that yes, all governments are trying their best, but we still have some difficulties that need some attention if we want everybody to be on board. Because the decision, you don't leave anybody behind. If there is a gap, if people are doing well, they are all out there, and the middle is so huge, and everybody else is down there. Why? Then there is no balance.
Okay.
So that is why they spoke about a few other things. As you rightly said in the keynote address to open the conference, the president of the conference, also Philip Name, touched on quite a number of things.
One major thing that came to the fore was government's fight for corruption, which he said it is gradually becoming an illusion because people in government seek their personal gains than the masses. And it didn't go down well with government, and government had to respond through the New Patriotic Party. What actually what was it that probably maybe at the end of the day, sometimes they say that the media might have twisted or turned things unlike the way it was said. What actually transpired?
The president of the conference indicated in that keynote address that if there's one thing that everybody was happy for, was when the president of the Republic, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, promised that during his tenure of office, the public purse will be protected.
Mm-hmm.
But he went on to say that, and when he said that every Ghanaian was happy because we all think that this is the way to go. And then added that it doesn't seem to be the case. We hear of all kinds of mismanagement taking place. That is why he touched on the wastage.
Okay.
And when there is so much waste, human of the resources of the nation, and where others, very few people are benefiting from it, and the masses who should benefit are not benefiting. Anytime the bishops talk, what people forget is that these bishops are more or less the people you can refer to as the grassroots people.
That's right.
Because when people have difficulty, it is the bishops they come to. And so they hear people complain how they are struggling every day. So at the end of the day, normally what is said is just to be the voice of the voiceless. And what I think we should do as people in authority, people in power is, what is there any truth in what has been said?
Okay.
If there is any truth in it, how do we go about it? Than to just try to brush it off and say that somebody is not in touch. These are shepherds. The bishops are shepherds. And so they have many people that they take care of, not only spiritually. And so when some of these things are raised, I think, yes, we are politicians. We would always want beautiful things to be said. But if there is some truth in what has been said, why don't we look at it and see the best way? Because
on the issue of free SHS, you are appealing to government to address challenges. And once again, it is said that the feeding senior high school food is a problem. Some of the headmasters are even asking if possible they should go back to the old system where they were managing the food instead of buffer stock, because there's a whole lot of trouble and problems with feeding. Some have even suggested that government should even reintroduce community day schools where if you're going to the boarding house, then the parents or the guardians should take care of that paying fees, and then the community day schools should rather be free. You said government should address challenges. What are the challenges you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, you have mentioned virtually everything, but I'll let you all know that this, again, was something that a lot of headmasters expressed through the Bishops' Conference. They say they have to go and be borrowing food from their sister schools. And sometimes, because you are not sure when the next stock of food is coming, so when you go asking for help from other sister schools, they are very reluctant to support. And sometimes the same food, for instance, if it is beans, because they don't have other types of staff of food to give. Sometimes throughout the whole week, they don't have to live on the same meal. So these were worries expressed by some of the headmasters of our second cycle schools. And so the bishops also decided that it's good to raise it. Yes, they appreciate what is happening, and as they have indicated, but there is a need. And this is not the first time the bishops spoke about these challenges so far as the free senior high school. And in the previous communiques, they said, why don't you come in dialogue with the stakeholders? There is always a way around it. Yes, you have the best of intentions, but if you are taking one difficulty or the other, just come back to the very stakeholders who have been part of this from the beginning, and let's see how best we can resolve this.
All right.
So that is, it it is a complaint that we got from, and they asked if we can touch on it. And so this
thanks so much this morning for your time, Father. Okay. Abronoma.
Omanhene.
Memory no tia me fami ko dwaso.
Okay.
Na ofri dwaso ba na yetumi atwa ne wo se etwa so.
Me fa kosua ngum.
Ai.
And nika keke.
Okay, fa kosua wom na ya fa.
Was it return of Zuza founder? Mami kuna ni bi. Enaja ye man so wa de bi om di show muti. Omo kan say omo ko dwara om di show muti. Omo net.
Shower cup. Shower cup. No yo ba no be kai. And
we dwara wi. We dwara wi no tene paso a wode Clayton as afrey evershin. Ba mesi wi a obesra. No de ntuma twa ni mu. Ena mahu se Papa J mfoni bisio. But maame no tim pa no so no wishia no ayi kunani no. Or allegedly was say maame kuno do Adjuma Rollins.
Okay.
Ena obi prepare nachi. Wotene mpa to kohwe nachi a oba fefe bi na ene ne kasa. Ena o say Mama, please 2024 day come. We need you for super victory. I talked to Moski. Her mama. Babies with sharp teeth.
Okay.
Memories, mommy. Please be bold, mama. Why? Yeah, channel. We try to go any dinner and the band was it. Hey, Zito the assemble.
Is that not told you assemble?
Zito the assemble as a mammy.
That's because you're for you. Famiko jaso jakwa brother Maakye.
Mama yen fa kosia ne enko dwaso. Ne enkyere mo ade papa musumu benya to e wo dwaso. Make am for ade amount say. Hero baby food efi Switzerland abrochimemo na aba na aduane no eye kama pa woni mu de enti aya na abrofo no woni omo nyina wo pe enso wo behwe no na wo mo ma no aye se tokom no ma fran ye fe na nkwada ni nyina ye fe fi se wo mo wo bre ede ma nkwada no se de nkwada ni sididifa wo mo pe aduane a minerals na afi so krampo no vitamins ahyem ma enti make am for Hero baby food ede amount na ye wo omega 3 ene omega 6 ewom enti sa akoda ne dia boa ne site ene na adwene pa say dia wo bia etobia mane ba Hero baby food eye assortment limited for ena akofa e dia free Switzerland abrochimemu e dia ba wo dia ne se baby a wo bia me de number ne tudwa na wa frɛ omeche supermarket a ebi wom number ne ye 0501 1509 12 0501 150912 na wone assortment for abo enkomo afei menua yade ban ene tewo so se dia se wobamu kurabu mekanfo Dr. Grace Boadu ediamao wono no ati Grace Gift Herbal Clinic no eye clinic fi se wuduru hono a ye hyewa fi wapampem bepem mowra no wo time edi ma obia ya wo ba Grace Gift enti yade bia betena wo so ama obamabuo na eye wo se yade no etwe na nanem wanse do no Mr. Okone ko try Dr. Grace Boadu na wase mo saa no na opese mo ba na mo ne ne tonchia na obehwom ama wo ho atom na mo so dia ya dance die hepatitis ana wo dia no eye B ana C ana eye D ana A make am form am say Dr. Grace Boadu eye habayo na so eye adwuma papa make am for eye stroke habayo no dia mawo say stroke aka wo de hye bi say na no echim say wontimi ema ne nsa so say wontimi nye hwe make am form am say ko na wo habayo wo de beka wo de ka wa fedia no asore na wo gina wo na so Grace Gift na yetene so ya sere etese wo be ma wo firi kwampo nchemra so na wato pa wo bia banyinsa meshe wo da ene Dr. Grace fa say bra na begie duro na wakosi matakale wo no say afont se nkuruma eba fofrompa wo be ma na woro ebe ye yirima wa ye dogo na gina so achepa oba inji capacity no emu asaye ama enei mesi asade inji capacity na adani afro no me da baswa mu na mehwe ka ho ne ko wate ne ko gie du papa na vagina steaming no steamy babia emfama Dr. Grace Boadu abi nkrobata shepe miensa ewo Ghana Oshim School Junction ewo Barekese kwan so eno na odi kan bi enu a wodi maternity ward nyina abam wo kwa na kom de wa ne pa de problem efise ba bi a wo bedi didie ebi wo pa afi ebu akokofo redua obengawo fuel station no ena new one aye bie ewo new Achimota Petroleum Bungalow one Family Life International School no edi anu hwe bibia ni afren 0543 320030 and 0246518003 Dr. Grace Boadwana yatenesua na ya sorry Kessben University College say one more congregation I na inauguration e dia keka wona wo moye no we anetoso eye miensa Nyankropon ya domwa December bosumi ayebesim ne de betoso enan eye 4th December ena wamo edibehyeso so kai se ebekoso ewo continency eho ne main campus no ewo eho no na nansen ya wamo ebiebia beka ho a eno aye Kumasi City campus no enti we de ebekoso wo continency suku eho efe no mesrewo se wo penchire mu bia frame 0501 637383 na oni mpanimfo nkasa adwuma yeye na wokodo na apese woko university papa bi yo mo betete wa wukura body crota ubenya adwuma ya Kessben University College na meka formal efise wo hyemu a na wo ye internship etu ba wie no na wo so aye pabne pa achechefo ne won kwada no wadaje so wa kire bibi na wonte ase wo betimi akohu no wo be kire wo kama etimi kan for Kessben University College edi amount ka ho bra na eye degree anase diploma and our person wukura so obia hu se wukọ Kessben University College a wa mo fa wontem ye forms ni bi wo ho ye bie Kumasi City campus edi aba ya chese enu de ben and afen so krampo no se wo ye adwuma weekend bia no obetimi aba na wa besua de make am for edi amount hwehwe ye forms ni bi e wa adum eye asida house na ekotobi wetimi so akokontena se ehọ na school na nkasa ewo na wafre 0501 637383 na onimpanifo abo enkomo Afe multi-credit savings and loans. Mekan for edi amount. Ubenyampo sa ube save usika ewo banki bia. Wudi usika to wanu ma wuda afedi no wada. Wudi mse multi-credit ba yeyi. Wamu konfiedu no miensa. Wobianti wamu wasembone. Wamfa wubia sika mponya ne da. Eti aneyi mekan for edi amount. Sa banka ebetu susu wo. Banka yebe save ewo. Na ye pebesia. Wamu bema yebia honhare so. Yese wadi shishe bia ba offense se group loans. Eti ebeti keke ho bombe se num enkono ensia so ni abaje besia bosia no actually 2 weeks na monsa aka entiane ehefa na wo kentampo ana wo aflawo ana wo Kumasi ana senkran ha ye bie nkrobata na duosensia ewo Ghana mfacho nyina mekanfo dia ma wo seko ho ne ko bisa group loans no eho asem na ubetimi afa multi credit for ewo 0244 176 901 na ni mpanimfo akasafe yemfa ultimate fashion ene ne furniture city ntwato na afa Omanhene Yaw Boakye efa diaka etro nyina enka ho eye wedding na wokro wobi ama we invite bi sebra engagement na wo pe atade papa bi a wo be sha mekanfo ultimate fashion e dia ma wo montade de eye jani o na ehyewa wo nhia wo nua me sentade ni nyina ye mono pa enkwada mpaboa enkwada ntade mekanfo ultimate fashion e dia ma wo ememe mo shirt papa bi ya mo hye e dia ko office no ebi e wo furniture city e de be ka ho ne kire say siesie wo dem siesie wo office siesie wo ho enti enkonya papa ena fensu krampo no empa ya wodi besi wo dem no eye ultimate furniture city ena mekan for ediama ho ya wadum Kumasi ya bem Wesley Methodist asafo no baabi Omanhene busha panyini ebo da wura kire yen no for papa ne ho emisa na sembia de ya ne so obefre eye 0209 136 733 one ultimate fashion and in the furniture city and more and come more. Oh, Henne.
Yes, my baby.
Oh, Henne.
Okay. Communication Service. National Health Insurance. National Health Insurance. Me dana me ho na maka mampon baby so asema chew ye ko akọ de niema akọ nyankafie entino won so far wo de bra number wo be frɛ asade wo momo na nyame ahira wo sonko no ye 0245 759593 yentie mampon baby so msempa no na me ba ya bia dia to am so anoba kwenas. Good morning.
Good morning, boss.
Now pom to say
Adum was
I hope the weekend was good.
Weekend, yes, it was good. I went to the village briefly.
Okay.
Mrs. Takakraba with Omanhene Yaw. No, me no village. In China, no Odimi Maminaji as the queen mother for my area.
Oh, okay.
You know, there we are be or there one or two.
You just relax for me. A quick commercial, then we take off.
Yes, sir.
That's my man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, boss is here.
Afia no hia se ya abusia hia mu didi ennom agi wani hyentade pa.
Na memao men chiawo so ne wadwuma efo akwanya mo dia ma yese yeso yemeka kakra enkyere ganafo na me bae na menua anugu nsembi so me fi se topic ba ko a we dey buy say na na do say ne flagship programs so yield
the results na with time no ganafo be hu
na menua no kasa no me na ba so wa yire no ho kasa as president hu no
Adiaso.
Oh, who look around the exchange ya money be. What has that got to why was so abia. What is president? What can no who know people who are appealing to president? Papa, he can the president can delay by never deny me. Now me quite share the taco program. Let me be advocacy man. When you deputy minister we could appear sweat me any. Let's go and never work. Only for the cat. Because I will now so it be Edim Bay. Joe, the education now flagship programs. Oka planting for food and jobs. Oka planting for food and jobs. Yamuchu.
Ade.
Omanhene, Metwe, I'm coming from an agrarian constituency. You know. Edra. Myself, Kabru. I farm. I'm a farmer myself. And every year be in the course. Me no can say planting for food and jobs the kura.
Ade.
And the point the companies are almost planting for food and jobs. A supply of seeds and chemicals.
Yeah.
But someone say this year, as at now, me no can say. Even farmers could not even get fertilizer to apply to their farms.
Which the ministry have attested to.
Many can say last 2 weeks, I bought sulfate of ammonia for 220 cedis per bag.
I told President Mama time 70 Ghana cedis. Many can say maize is sold at the farm gate and na Monday and na your drum market day. You can let anybody confirm from you say and a bag of maize. Satama you wimu and kaya tama ebu. This is the major season harvest and then I mean can say a bag of maize at a drum market is 350 Ghana cedis.
Hey. That's a bro.
This is the reality on the ground. So for me, always I've been saying, say, I go for these policies are cosmetic policies.
A brunkwan.
And yeah, brunkwan coming. That is the major staple.
I'll bribe my mommy 1 minute. Honorable job here, miss. On say discussion on me kind or tiasie.
We are sure.
Okay,
Martin Kasabi.
Ye now there for people on the pen. Not the all can job to two. We are now up them. You know bribe my uncle.
You can call anybody in the Jura. Now, and then we are in a technological way. And then you can call anybody in the Jura and says, how much is the bag of maize down? So what you say? It is a policy be a result. Meanwhile, this time one can brew and can send a ton of market 100 cities, 120 cities. So I hear 350 Ghana cities. And that's at the farm gate too. That's at the farm gate.
There's a Pierre Bontain there.
A Pierre Accra, how officer saying the beton of Accra. Make us say, me when me say more a G for 8 years. I almost say make me try contumpo. They will say you try contumpo. And these policies are cosmetic policies. Yeah, free CHS. Yes, it's a good policy. It's a good policy. Natural. And Malapai come. Now, and then the most difficult job to do is MPP communicator. And then you are MPP communicator. Yes, MPP communicator. True.
The most difficult job in Ghana today
is to defend the Kufuor.
Is to be an MPP communicator.
That's the most difficult job now. Because almost this is control one said the million job here. Also, president who
yeah, Johnson.
Oh, and the free SHS. Very good, brilliant policy. I bet we have bois. Ama Sebe. But are we thinking of what we are churning out? And school for a year churning out because of say they couldn't get adequate preparation in the school city. Obia Papo and San Watro. Obia Papo, yan ready ya. A bedroom, yan Ghana, yan certificates, a bit worthless. And yan said the air course within our examination circles because due to lack of preparation. Because Akarabico school, to be the needed duration now, so when you school, no, we cover the entire syllabus now and say Osuano, to be Asia. Now you're rushing through. And it is a case, and it's a make a say, I go for the policies in the they are all cosmetic.
Cosmetic?
Yes.
On the surface?
On the surface, but you go down, it doesn't work. So what you say, free SHSE, say, implementing here, dear. No, I know what be a piano, classrooms. You should have the classroom infrastructure in place. How they needed teachers, how they needed textbooks. Many can say, you say assessment syllabuses for the junior high schools.
Yes, right.
How many years now? Textbooks
almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. Even no textbooks. So what are we doing to our education? And that is the basis. The basic school. Where a normal air course in the various sectors, the people are not able to talk because of intimidation. Would you agree? Now, can you be the air course to say?
I want to intimidate you.
Hey, why bet me I got
so we a headmaster.
Headmaster Kokan. So, young name say educational funding no. Sika kura ese ekọ ema nkwara no ankasa kura no omadu anisem ombibisem omahin se wuti ya na se ya me no kura kwhia na feeding kura nkwara ni feeding kura no it was a problem. It was a problem. No one said Omonko buffer stock supply the animal. Nasika was a 30%. They said medical school, nobody non perishables, no. I was a perishables,
20%. And I was a 1.9.
Headmasters are afraid to talk.
So if the MPP
I've just taken only 2 policies.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, sir,
also the former president has lost touch with the people. So the issues on the floor, no, only solutions.
Omanhene, they have lost touch.
They rather have lost
touch.
Yes,
because of where they sit. Maybe Omunya be free, and then when you petrol free, when the dam free, when you be free, he has lost touch with the people, with the ordinary people. People are suffering. Ghanaians are suffering. For me to borrow Baumia, teachers are suffering. Teacher trainees are suffering.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Omanhene quote egu bebre na bisem ko ade.
I know why.
We should be na ni kafio. Quote dey go sa we.
Na should be. Na so your green tile and your top here no. No what's it for?
Some is acronym ba. Acronym dey show boy o.
Address the crazy lawyer.
Hey abo.
Okay. You didn't come on there. And I'll pay you didn't come up here with respect to benchmark values. Abino on 32 items effective today. Now, UTA AGI for they are happy. UTA Guta, they are so sad. Omufi said, ebe how mu business, ebe ma near boy ding or memu ha palma. Ghana for home chiwom. Another ho. The second one is about the free SHS. And Kuala Mukotro BC to free SHS. Ghana Catholic Bishop, I appeal to government to address challenges facing free SHS. And they're calling on government to say he should come to the table because feeding is becoming a problem. Feeding. Kuala be a whole week, Gabins in Kwan, a bit more gare and in Quine. I buy no menu or year no for all those years no. This year has been a challenge. COVID-19
Kessben FM 92.9.
Say government should get back to the round table for discussion and stakeholders. Now be am financial. Ebi mo say and board in there. Kabay no ni free ni free so. Awofu eko suku. Ne ba no corner or pay day board in the own tier. Basa so can you no na sa na tie. Then we free SHS no more. Government is a flagship program. Senior Aquinas,
yes,
I am sure first with the AGI Guta tassel with respect to benchmark values. And who soon saw my mind?
Yeah, me that say, Minchia, it's a funina. There, or the government or Junhubium, because if a Guta and only AGI. Every country will like the industries, no better. But you don't do it at the detriment of other sector. I was listening to the Guta president. Or can be there. Look, even if AGI they get whatever they want, at the end of the day, they are the ones who are going to pick the items from them to sell. So what is and they gave a warning that if this thing goes on, Christmas things might double. Prices of items will double because they will definitely pass it on. And then I think the items should be looked at again. I don't think we need the removal of the
benchmark,
of the 50% benchmark value. We don't need them. Look, right now, when you can say, if we don't take time, by December we'll be buying cement for 60 cedis.
No,
or 65.
It's now almost 60.
For now, the way it's going with even the 50% benchmark value on clinker, we are getting to 60.
Yeah.
If we don't take time now, and this thing is implemented now, by December, I'll be buying one bag of cement for 80 Ghana.
Yeah.
And where are we going? And you know that this is a growing economy. Another, this is a developed country, a developing country. We are now developing. Definitely, infrastructure needs to be built. Do you know how much it's going to cost? You see, sometimes government need way free there. If you do that, eventually it comes back to hurt you as a government. Sure, what your roads? We need bridges. We need gutters. It's all cement. It will increase your construction cost to almost about 20%. Yeah. So why do I do that? Why don't I give reprieve to
cement
production so that you see the number of people right now? Luckily, we have one or two people.
Companies,
local companies.
Kessben, Jata.
No, Kessben is not too much local. But Jata, what I'm talking about, Ghanaian owned,
like Jata Cement, in the system. I learned somebody else is also trying to do one in Takoradi. You know, let's encourage them. But you see, here is where I don't get, because anybody who is manufacturing is part of AGI, right? That's right.
So Jata is under AGI, or whoever is doing massive
manufacturing, any other
is under AGI, and at the same time, no, in Kofuna na will import more clinker. So if you take the thing off clinker now, their production cost is going high. Definitely, it will hurt them. Into AGI now, they should sit down as a body and know that it's not there are things that you don't manufacture here. You need it to come from outside. Look, until then, bauxite industry will thrive to that level. No, we should forget about getting clinker cheaply. I say, but when say Guidec or from the Guidec, right?
Yeah, Guidec.
Ghana integrated
aluminium.
Whatever. When they start full time now, that is where we can say that out of the remnants of
we have limestone, we have
limestone, we can get our clinker to do it. But for now, we import them. For now, we import them. Once I hear import over there, sure there, we protect. Look, that is the industry. That the building industry now is thriving. Sisiano, Master, I'm telling you, if you want to build a single room, self-contained, you'll be shocked the Billa, what's the bro? Because I remember, just going to renovate a village house. The village house, was some village house at those times. Then one old lady was living in. Anytime I go to my village, that's where I go and eat. Me grand aunt. That is where I eat all the time. The last time I went to the village, I didn't like the most of my here. And it gives me some feeling anytime I go to that house, because if I go there, I still smell the abenquine that I've been eating in the house.
Right.
You know, in my mind, know that kind of thing. I say I have to restore the place. Make a friend Mason. There one more share or a net
estimate.
Or a net then pedo and block kakrami war in chance big go like roofing sheet big go village I mean using one room, one single room. Master, I was getting to almost about 10,000. I'm saying,
somebody you cry.
No, what room? I mean, I was getting to 10,000, and I was like, what is going on? How much? No, say the boss. We are free cement here 58 cities. And I'm saying, so
Kessben.
if you need 100 bags of cement, that one is almost how much? 5,000.
Almost 5,000.
I mean, Bay, Indian Bay, Liban Bay,
Chanson Bay, Tiles in May,
10,000. Look, we need to listen. The government now one yet serious consultation, because if you're in a releasing there with GRA, what's there? A meeting with the concern, whatever. And check it will let you know.
Yes.
What's there? What's there?
After consultation. With
but they didn't consult. You see these people in consultation, I don't know why.
The MPP
won't pay consultation, because they always think they know it all.
Okay, let me read it.
Yes, I am.
Our letter on the brief on the removal of benchmark on selected item dated September 27, 2021. We write to inform you that following discussion on various fora, it has been agreed that discount on some commodities currently being enjoyed should be reversed to achieve revenue effect to this end, November 15, that is today, is therefore slated for the effective date for the implementation of the removal of the benchmark values and some selected items. And Aban, what do we have to Jano?
No, but me, my problem is also GRA doesn't have the sole prerogative to issue that statement. You know, they have to refer this to Parliament, because it's Parliament that sets tariff and we can reduce tariff. So this should be a proposal.
Yeah.
What they come Parliament, then Parliament will go ahead and pass it.
And pass it.
But
they say November 15.
November 15. Meanwhile,
it takes effect.
And meanwhile, you have not been to Parliament, so it's illegal. Obia, if you go to port today and they charge you with this, it's illegal.
And it's signed by Amishada, who's the commissioner.
I know, and it's illegal because look, why there even a percentage change in every tariff they send it to Parliament? Maybe it's going to be part of the sometimes
maybe a budget nation.
Yeah, but sometimes we have these things. They throw it in just to
test
polls. Most my then maybe in the budget itself, we are not going to go ahead with this. Let the status quo be and that kind of thing. I mean, seriously, because with this you need to go to Parliament to get approval. For approval. As I say, into some Parliament next day is effective 15th now.
So you're charging illegal fees.
Yes. At least that is the way I understand the law.
Yeah.
Almost my identity. I mean, they should really consult, not discussing it on other fora, because discussions can be one-sided discussion. But when you come to consensus with the major players in the industry, in the industrial space now, that is where when you are a casa, it's true. This is the thing, this is the thing, this is the thing. But at the end of the day, what is going on right now, it's not good for business, especially our importers and the exporters. As I say, it is going to cripple most of them. And for them not to be crippled, we should also brace up for more overland to pay more for goods and services.
FM 92.9.
Now let's move to the free SHS.
That's right.
The Catholic Bishop Conference saying the government should revisit the free SHS. You know, I've always maintained.
I want you to have enough time for that.
Okay. Benchmark.
Benchmark. Honorable Joe Piamra. Now, I think we'll delve into that. Honorable Joe Piamra.
For me, MP, I'm a former MP, Kwamba tells me the current MP. You, Michakwam Deborah Kumasi. I mean, father, I love my heart for you. I own a wife. And I produce also Kumasi, a big Bruce.
Hey.
Kwama Pia, US. Just mean this. Oh, we guess there.
Well,
Auntie Jasmine awareness. I believe no food in Ara. Papa, I would say the Akuna Sakano. I told you, you have to be very objective. So be your parliament, no need to be ana. And money ain't good, you have not to us, I was which I think is wrong. I think what he has said about the benchmark. Ghanaians are suffering. But you see, at the end of the day, the Ghanaians, the government need money for infrastructure. Exactly what he's saying. What they are saying. We need money. Now, young Koboro, so the money aba. You will say the money aba. But things what he's saying, that's a mind view. So be a this escalating. Look at the price of cement. All can say it's our 58, it's 58. Before we realize by December, now could be 60, 65. At the end of the day, the other Ghanaian does not believe in that kind of thing. You have to pray to me, and you have the effect I was. If you say they should, exactly what you say is, Parliament is the so a year or approval for all these things. It gets to Parliament for Parliament to approve. But the bar say at once here and I say one more treat him say on the 15th year take effect. It is not the right thing. I mean come on, look. Maybe I have to see the truth. I didn't yes way. It at least for once I'll side with my brother. At least you know abani mi hu yi Jerry for no yesterday na abani hu yi. Omoni Ghana if no
Association of Ghana Industry so ni agi say ebeboa om so ma industries akosoro.
But at the end of the day, Russia is going to, I mean, a bit to escalate price of things. And I can soon per se, but son bring us over. And that because it has to how effect on what on something that I'm expecting. What they say, and we have to sit down. Yes, I get it be your Thomas will be and they would say do it more.
Yeah, no, no,
oh, no, boy, dinner we are exactly what we were.
Nanyamano. So mo de ye mo a de omo ka no se na nimu anka Ghana for because this year he said NDC call bontin no se niam boy de na is it because any ho it is there.
Oh, it is there, but you see
more time na niam so boy de it is there, so they are saying the truth.
It I think say the akwenese kan me ni adwen esa ba na dwi ho ye na omo na omo ma bibia etu enye I mean so that I think the bed na ye physics here no etu be for kakra I think so I with him for now.
And niam boy was that's what you're saying.
That is it. To let things go up again
and make it even worse.
Very worse, which I think so.
Okay.
You have to.
All right. About non-chrome. Ebasi I never say me try me home back. Now the akana free sa non-chrome per mu 9596 no ye tisim. Free SHS ya buying flagship program. But nipa baby are starting a question. Free SHS and say I buying a sikasem and answer day now my buying to me a day. And fancy form. A lot of complaints are going on. But headmasters are not talking. Why?
That's good.
We'll look at that. Give us a minute. We'll go for a quick commercial break. It's 9 o'clock.
Kessben. Hey! And now Boakye say, yeah, lose touch with the people. Is it not true, say, people are crying as a result of, say, Omanhene Sika Engro Mbutum? Is it not true, say, Enyua Egu? Is it not true, say, I mean, okay, say, now the pay sorry, people are crying at the fuel pumps?
That's the next topic we'll look at today.
Huh? Minya, Boakye said, John Mama has lost touch with the people. Yeah, you should think, I mean, you should have the feel, the sensibilities of Ghanaians. What you say? I mean, Ghana for any GDB, our President Akufo-Addo, any MPP, and the Kotuaba, Edema, President Akufo-Addo. Say, oh, Bano, oh, Baba Buama, Yoma Akofom. But rather, say, Papa Ibahe, and no man, Kosu or Maimuno, and then we can say everything is as a standstill. Go to the districts. All the disassemblies are collapsed. This assembly then is because it is not all the assemblies that are economically endowed.
Yeah.
IGF. And they depend on this assembly's common fund to fund their activities. We are in the fourth quarter of 2021, Omanhene. Even last quarter of 2020 has not been paid. So if you add it, that it makes 4 quarters. 4 quarters is equal to 1 year.
Yeah.
1 year na kaprem called local government. Asiewa, who catch the nipana or Asiewa, Abia. Maybe catch even so some of the assemblies suspect empty a crowd monetary toilets. I say tire, I say won't even talk. Then you tell me, say, President Mama echoing these sentiments has lost touch with the people. When the President Mama, why not lose touch with the people? These are the realities on the ground. Mobile now, Miniano Kase, or Mwesi school, then me per se. Next, I'm praying, say, where anytime I'm in Accra, maybe from next week, hopefully from Accra, he should bring us.
The list of
Noma Omohaye. You have borrowed more than all the governments combined from Kwame Nkrumah to President Mahama. Now our national debt stands about 330 something.
330 billion.
330 billion. From 120 to 330.
122 billion.
The 22 billion, media, I because
122 to 335 or something.
It's even 120. I'm saying this because I'm a member of the Public Accounts Committee.
Oh, okay.
I know how, I mean, even let's take 122. Maybe you alone have added close to more than 200 billion in 5 years with nothing to show. Show me. The Pokwasi interchange you are pinpointing to is part of the President Mama's debt.
It's part of the 122.
It's part of the 122. Is it not part? It's part of the 122. So with nothing to show, virtually nothing to show. And then you sit down here and tell us, say, President Mama has not touched with the people. You said Western's when we're going to 2020 elections. And yet, Takashini Soja for Amuduremua, you lost parliament. Even the presidential, you lost. You knew how you engineered to come to power, but that engineering, we have also had a machinery to block it. It won't happen again. Say 2024. President Mama,
they engineered.
Oh, they engineered their way to the flag. They engineered their way. They engineered their way. We have another time for that discussion.
All right.
What I want to tell MPP Minia Joapia to say, President Mahama is not afraid of competition. MPP is a democratic party. That's why we are called the National Democratic Congress.
NDC.
President Mahama. I said NDC. What kind of people? I said NDC.
Well, NDC. Now, President Mahama on yet mo flag.
I said NDC is a democratic party.
You said MPP.
I didn't say MPP. The NDC is a democratic party, and that's why we are called the National Democratic Congress. And President Mahama last week made a statement saying the party hierarchy or the national executive should give chance to anybody at all who wants to contest him.
Yeah, he's made a statement.
He made a statement to that effect. Anybody who contests President Mahama, so we contest President Mahama. Let's say the could be a 10%. I'm telling you, say President Mahama will leave that the flag by election to that person.
Okay, so what your mama
the NDC.
Let me read some messages here quickly. Then we'll Honorable Bawa Brima, the Moakwaba.
Oh, me just saw my hearing.
Now I'm to say.
Yaminti me huye.
Okay, Maminti will come out here to change.
Nedikano, my main fa Nchiasunko, Emma, Watifo, Nititu, ne, a grass massifo. Na men shall so ne what you might for Aquenya Modiama say yes so Yamaka cra and Chere Ghana for. Now me buy na minua anugu nsembi so me fi say topic back one we dey say na na do say ne flash programs so yield
the results na with time no Ghana for be
na minua no kasa no me na be so ayire no ho kasa and so president hu no
Adiaso.
Oh, who cry no the exchange ya money be. Let's say my penya ku for. What has that got to do? We are wakasa wa ye bi so ebia. What is your president so no. What can no who no people.
Who appeal to president?
Papa he can the president can delay but he can never deny me.
Na me kwa chia the taco program pa. Na me be advocacy man. Onya deputy minister we go there. Apia so etme enye let's go na ni abra wo kasa wo kenyina so enim bay jo dedika no flash programs na o ka planting for food and jobs mo ka say planting for food and jobs ya mutu awu
ade
Omanhene metwe I'm coming from an agrarian constituency you know Edra myself
Kabru
I farm. I'm a farmer myself. And every year be in the course. Me no can say planting for food and jobs the kura.
Ade.
And the point didn't buy.
The companies are almost planting for food and jobs. A supply of seeds and chemicals. Yeah. But someone say this year, as at now, me no can say. Even farmers could not even get fertilizer to apply to their farms.
Which the ministry have attested to.
Many can say last 2 weeks, I bought sulfate of ammonia for 220 cedis per bag. I told President Mama time 70 Ghana cedis. Many can say maize is sold at the farm gate and no Monday and now you market day. You can let anybody confirm from you say and a bag of maize. Satama you win and kayatama ebu. This is the major season harvest and then I say a bag of maize at a drum market is 350 Ghana cedis.
Hey, that's bro.
This is the reality on the ground. So for me, always I've been saying, I go for these policies are cosmetic policies.
A brunkwa.
And yeah, brunkwa, I'm coming. That is the major staple.
I'll bribe me 1 minute. Honorable job here, Mr. On say discussion on me kind or tiasie.
We are sure.
No, okay,
Matime Kasabi.
Ye now there for people on the pen. Not the all can you jot to her. We are now up him. Honorable bribe my uncle.
You can call anybody in Nigeria. Now, and then we are in a technological way. And then you can call anybody in Nigeria who says, how much is the bag of maize down? So what you say? It is a policy be a result. Meanwhile, this time one can brew and can send to
Kumasi, the shop Maakye Enterprise, and Nukunu Ewa Germany is here. Mark Akwesia Jema Jeche, CEO of Maakye Enterprise, currently at Germany. Today is your birthday, and your wife says, happy, blessed, blissful birthday to you. Honorable Quenas, free SHS. Is it a good call coming from Catholic bishops? Sarah Mufi said stakeholders consultation is needed at this crucial moment because Omasimo Mukano, headmasters, and a Kago Masum, so they are only giving a math piece to it.
Yeah, that is the main reason why headmasters no one kasan, because headmaster kakasa pe either they will be with it.
Why should that happen?
I don't know. I mean, that's the vindictiveness of young Kofi. I mean, they will either sack you or post you to some school. Yeah, another they will take you to the head office. And
some headmasters too were doing politics with VSH.
No, forget about doing politics. I mean, you can decipher whether the person is genuinely complaining in a politics. Definitely. I mean, statement whether the area politics another
you are being genuine.
You are being genuine. I mean, look, some of us we have me personally, my personal view. Mr. The free SHS wasn't approached the right way. You know why? Emi inonyi Joe aye trade dem Nyankopon adom. Ebotum ye tua yemba no school fees. Ebotum. Because even in primary school we pay even more than secondary school. Equal private primary schools say JHS, they pay 3,000, 5,000. Secondary school, those times, master, if you look at secondary school, a bill per term is about 800 Ghana. Yeah. With boarding facilities, 800 Ghana. So,
they crowd 120.
Yeah. Look, the proposal that I had, let's target. And there, in this country, we have people that we pay monies to. We call LEAP.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have that data. So why don't we target those people first? Then target the day schools. Until with time, the country is doing better economically now. Then we'll look at the boarding schools too. And the boarding schools, because we are giving the day students free, you don't let them pay tuition. All they pay is maybe facility user fee and feeding fee. That's all. That will be the only thing that they pay.
And you think a lot of people can afford?
Master,
because somebody was saying,
Master,
you be chow-meja.
No, you ain't chow-meja. You see, it's a gradual thing. Almost my identity. Look, with time, the community day secondary schools will entrench themselves. Will be if we have every district with a secondary schooler, say meti ye find there me kunfini. And we see secondary school or a kunfi utuam. if the school the first, second exams, I realize that the school is performing now. Why should I leave Ekumfi and go to Techima Senior High School? Mokwakada boarding. Ekumfi wana secondary school oya papa mutumako. That was the idea NDC was trying to build. Let's build the schools in every district. Yeah. Then we look at all the day schools. Before we left Power Crampo, day schools were free. Day schools were not paying school fees. What we call the term progressively you are moving towards free. Look, we were looking at the American system. In America, every community have a secondary school, and that one, because it's under government, is highly subvented. It's virtually free. But if you want to take your son or daughter to a boarding school,
you pay.
Because they will have to feed, they will use electricity. And then the only thing I in there, okay, for me to cushion parents, what I'm doing is I absorb the tuition fee, because once the free SHS, and this are also in America and other things. Most of these boarding schools are quasi private.
That's right.
In a way.
Yeah.
But here, majority of our boarding schools are government. So what you need is to subvent it. You see, because it's a flagship project, you don't need to let it go whether it has hitches or not. You don't do that, because at the end of the day, some parents will be okay, school fees are free, stationery are free, but Obiantu are even 200 Ghana every term for feeding. Obwa government in a way, the 200 Ghana. Those who can the last of Kenofrata Bakade or Onya and Kobutu with 20 people and say, Woma will be Woma Wuntia, and Oma won't even know. That was my proposal way back then. I remember when I made that statement, people insulted me on Facebook. In Tabra Kenofrata Kokada Masamepe, in the Mutra Ken story, in the Mutra story, and I posted it back on Facebook, which is which. This thing, I said it 4 years ago. He is now saying it. And he's being applauded. Because it's coming from somebody who wears red, black into but we have to face realities. Look, why are they not building hospitals? All the money is going into free SHS. Master, I was shocked when in 2019 2020 budget, it came out there. So far, government has spent 6 billion on SHS. 6 billion.
Yeah, Ghana cedis
on SHS. Meanwhile, we've borrowed 320 billion. So the 6 billion,
230 billion.
Yes, in America, no, that time in do 30. I'm talking about 2020.
Like a total borrowing.
Yeah.
I ban with the inquiry
200 and
over billion.
200 billion. Meanwhile, all we've spent on free SHS was a paltry 6 billion, and we blame everything on free SHS. Look, let's revisit this issue. It's not too late. As I say, free SHS, whether we like it or not, it has come to stay. Now nobody have anything to. No government can come and say that I am reversing free SHS. You don't have.
It even have a statute.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't have the whatever to say there. You are cancelling free SHS, but you see, it's a constitutional requirement. It's even in our constitution. It states there gradually. Progressively, we need to do even all the way to the tertiary level. As I say, but you see, we Ghanaians don't have to be hypocrites.
You think so?
There are some people who was between the three of us. Genuinely, they can't pay their children's school fees. Genuinely, they can't. Majority of us too can pay. I hope you understand me. They were talking about equity. Look, if equity, then we should all pay the same tax. Whether you earn $20,000 or whatever, we should pay the same tax. That is what I can say there, or your equity. But once you earn different from me, You pay taxes different from me. What are you talking about? There can never be that equity. Those who can pay school fees should be allowed to pay, or should be made to pay. Look, I had a scholarship.
That is where the problem also comes. In as much as I can pay school fees, then they begin to choose first class schools, second class schools.
No.
Then money starts changing hands. That was also an issue they want to take.
Yeah,
up. But now with the computer placement,
Master, still
they can put you anywhere.
Still. With computer placement, when minister when you go to KJB SHS before. What? No, Master, don't go there. That one there is still.
They maneuver to
SPSS or for them.
Nipa.
It's in there. The only thing that we need in there is not about, you see, there Obibuka can select them school. We'll still go with the SPSS thing. I say into school placement in the bar. All those who had Achimota school, our boarding school, let's look at them where they fit. I'm trying to bring 4, 5, 6. Their parents are even surviving on leap. And somebody who is surviving on leap, by the way, to school fees. Because we have that data, it will be easier for us to pick who and who to pay their fees for. As I say, in the moment this thing come and your father, you fill a form. What Papa you do Ministry of Finance? That means you can pay school fees. My father is unemployed.
You can be this thing can confuse you. There is urban poor.
No,
urban poor is even more because you see,
urban poor
with Lip, urban poor feels he doesn't go and tell people. And to say hipic,
no,
and he also say okay, because we are more brower. Urban poor is even more dangerous than
I understand you.
Rural poor.
I understand you because urban poor, no, because you are buying the things at the same rates as the rich man. I understand what urban poor feels like. But what I'm saying is, if you are gainfully employed,
you should be able to afford.
If you are gainfully employed, you see, some of us, our parents were not able to do so much for us in terms of buying us toys, bicycle, roller skates, and that kind of thing. We were not able to get those because your father was maybe below middle income earner. All this kid or the train school. As I say, my father told me one thing. My papa can't say my family juma. My papa can also the beginning. By the time I got pension in our last born, we were university. Also, there, Sanya the dam na eco pension. Who's Kakanona did go to school fees? No, you don't need to pay school fees
when you're on pension. And a lot of Ghanaian males are doing it.
I tell you,
and
my father,
pressure.
Master, let me tell you one funny thing. Let me tell you one funny thing. At the age of 37, my father has 7 children, 37 years. My mother was 34. Well, 7. Me at the age of 37, worry. I mean, so my father will call me and ask me, never didn't reach. Calculate your age, your small sister, ni age from mine. You do the calculation, say 37. Yes, I was 37 when I had your last, my last born. Me when I'm the last but one. But when I was working, my father was still working. Me yejuma na papa so yejuma, na papa on pension. I was working, my small sister was working before my father went on pension. Only problem there. One time, at the end of the day, we have to revisit. I believe and I understand where the Catholic bishops are coming from. We have to revisit it. Nobody can say that policy is a bad policy. It's a very good policy. But we needed not to have rushed it.
Hold it there for me. Naminko Honorable.
Senior, I think said the free senior high school policy. Policy is the best policy in the history of this country. Though challenges are there, as Konas is saying. But you see, let us be honest with ourselves. I also heard it. Said we are nobody kono and someone gari. And in my courses, I visited about 3 schools. Because Antissa. They were eating normal food. It keep very strong and healthy. I visited Dogono Secondary School, I visited Accra Academy, I visited Accra Girls. And luckily, so a reverend, deputy minister reverend, so took upon himself and went around in the regions, and he came out with something. But some of the schools were in Ukraine. You see, by the Catholic Bishop Conference, when they start speaking, talking, I take. I mean, before some say I somewhere in here, because this government be my political year. They say the truth. As it is.
Okay.
So I don't joke with them.
Okay.
In fact, they buy I was not happy with that utterance because he was not quite one person. Only people in. So let us face the reality on the ground. Though people will be saying it.
Say Catholic bishops Nancy form.
That is, but you do not have to listen to people who come and wrong information. Then you sit there and say I didn't cause you. There are you can't say all of them are eating the best food. At least maybe a fourth war. But you can't take the whole thing Saturday yet. At the Catholic Bishop Conference, I drove my heart for minimum agro. When they start speaking now, they suddenly a very big concern. Then we suddenly idea here. What I would say, they say, though it's a very good policy. Nobody can stop that policy. And if you and the doctor and now Kayo for and Crawford said, I want to doctors no money a year. I could form payments about going to be this time. Oh yes, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I want to doctors here, Mesa this time. They're all in school. About 1 million over in school. So we are building the human capacity for our children, for our youth. And it's very good. But you see, people be talking about it, castigate the whole thing. Of course, we know me debate with the guy who is living on lip, the old man who is living on lip, how does he pay?
I don't know, say more
a policy be a while. It cuts across will be a scaffold cry, and go school ball. Scaffold crampon. And then this is for my part of the before my.
No, equity.
And this is my kratos to before my. As I did, I'll be Kessben and make a show. As I did, so and this is for my dorsal. I'm telling you. Oh, research. Research will be here. So, you know, me and say, you know. As that what I could say, yet me, you may nara. Oh my God,
but I was about to say, be more bit met you.
I don't know to bet you, but it's a policy. Who was you call this? You call I made you about. Then I couldn't can snake a good. 2 races alone can make a difference, one person. But a bunch of to absolute, so let him be. Near school, no. Now, you back capacity and cost for my young. A honor was a gun you do it. Malaysia, when you have true education, and no by Malaysia. All the big countries are. I mean, countries of bomb modern power, developed countries in a true education. And I mind there, or my Sebi, Krabashi. And you know, the challenges are there. We are going to address it slowly, you better address. So, the reality is to build more schools. And I know this administration is building more schools. So, there was supposed to be 200 schools. Then your parliament by Joama also went to 200 schools for 4 years. He built 28. 29. The way you had the company. You had the company. But when we came to, you started to say, be free.
Must 31.
Yes, 31.
No, I'm going to be 31 and that's almost 31. Yeah, don't say I'm 31.
They have.
Yes, and yes,
I'm 31. Yes,
I'm 29. But you see, sometimes you see.
Oh, you are cutting me.
No, I'm not cutting you. I just want to know because if you finish now, we are closing. So I know their time. So I will let you.
You take me.
Okay, 30 seconds.
Because my good friend,
30 seconds. I make in there. And there schools, we left some in other in various stages.
Definitely.
And there, some of them, most of them that were tied to GOG, they didn't touch it. Most of them that were tied to funding, they have to finish it because the money is sitting down there. You see, sometimes don't throw stones or sand.
Also, World Bank.
No, because if the World Bank or IMF, if they give you sponsorship for a project, the money is there. But things that is tied with
of Ghana, they no touch it back.
No, listen, but at the end of the day,
oh no.
For foundation,
the school no foundation.
I could have found with Mba. I'll be fair. That could be a car.
Not your man, you see,
it may be a foundation, the money, you're completely. It's not you had a whole 4 years as a Kabusi more. 8 years, right? Kabusi more. And I'm not blaming them because of a. It's what we are saying. Now, no schools, no, you see more. Maybe I'm going to be number Faka, Nantia Kola about 7 kilometers. How? It doesn't make a. I mean, just say, I don't know. That's always be you see. I don't want to choose. I couldn't say. I don't know. If somebody I respect so much.
Okay.
Parliament or Kotono Kunway Secretary or Tono Kufi Secretary Joba or who do appear or Bob anything be a funny sanka.
Oh, that's
for him.
The bottom line is
that the challenges are there, but the government is going to address it. What I say, the Bishop Catholic Conference, also, I know say Omakasa di no Makasa, but there's some pencro from Kokoshe, no
Thank you very much. Okay, Ishmael Amakwata, Yapon, plant pathologist, Coach Richards Institute, Akim Tafo, Opapani of Amakwata, Mami Timbio, Tony Sewantia, Makane Kamapa, and Opeamano. Madam Cecilia Oforiaman for Mrs. Angson, headmistress, Quada so MA Basic, Unam for Yahoo Suso, and your birthday, Madam Cecilia. Ofori Aman for Mrs. Anton, headmistress. Happy birthday to you.
You're busy for no Michom and then Kolamo Kwa, Mobiamon. I did go Suyan on the
okay.
No more confidence. Now, at doing your cry, any 7 ones and 8 ones.
All right,
they might be able to get the 9 ones. Remember, you choose here.
Yeah, now so check Kumasi for.
Yeah.
The guess, no.
Oh,
let me tell you,
Tony
Edu.
We didn't tell him Tony Edu.
Yakubu Tony
Edu. Everybody.
Oh, okay.
Yakubu Tony, any one guy, it did a different national porter.
National porter.
Okay.
National porter. All right, I bet to us another day. That is tomorrow. God willing.